Okay, we're going to call to order the Raymore Parks and Rec Board meeting for Tuesday, March 28th, 2023. I'll ask for a roll call, please.
Member Scott and Member Collier are absent this evening. Member Manson?
Here.
Member Troutman?
Present.
Member Clark?
Present.
Member Cooper?
Present.
Member Mapes?
Present.
And we have a quorum, sir.
Okay, thank you. We'll now move to the Pledge of Allegiance. All rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next, we'll move to personal appearances. Superintendent Rulo.
Yeah, we have Dallin Seeley from Troop 315 tonight. He's going to come up and give a small presentation on a project he would like to do to receive his Eagle Badge. So, Dallin, if you want to come on up.
Hello, my name is Dallin Seeley. I'm currently pursuing my Eagle rank. In order to do so, I have to complete the project. And so Steve had told me that the city of Raymore had purchased a bike repair station, but we had never installed it. I had the pad all ready and everything. And so for my project, I was going to assemble and install the bike repair station currently at the end of a trail, but hopefully what will soon be a part of a loop of a trail.
Thank you, sir. Any questions? What troop are you with?
1315.
Awesome. Any questions? Great. Well, we appreciate all the help we can get, so we look forward to it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Nice job, bud. So that particular location's at the Brookside Trail that terminates in between, what road is that? Yeah, it's over by Stonegate and Brookside. It's if you're off Lucy Webb and you take the Brookside Trail kind of back into the creek, it's the end of that. And eventually, like he said, it will loop through the new Brookside subdivision. So it's one of the 2 trailheads that we have coming online in our linear park trail system.
Thank you. Next, we will approve the park board minutes for February 28th, 2023.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Bill.
I move we approve the park board minutes for February 28, 2023.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? Seeing none, we will vote to pass these minutes. All those in favor? Passes 5-4, 0 against, 2 absent. Next, we'll move into staff reports. Director.
Thank you, sir. I will ask Superintendent Brennan to give a report for the Recreation Division.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Troutman, members of the board, I've submitted a written report, but I did want to highlight on a few items. We are this past Saturday, we had the first weekend of our soccer season, and this upcoming Saturday, we'll have volleyball and flag football. They will begin their games this Saturday. I did want to highlight on spring flag, our flag football program this spring. This is the 3rd spring we have offered it. We've offered it every fall, and usually in the fall we do have bigger numbers. But we have 191 kids signed up for this spring. And just to kind of reference that, the first spring that we offered it a couple years ago, we had 110. So it's just really cool to see how that program has grown these years, and I'm sure the Chiefs' success hasn't hurt as well. I did also want to mention that this past Friday, we originally had our Friday Foods Fest that was scheduled. We went ahead and canceled that just because the weather was not necessarily ideal, and we did have a few food trucks that were backing out. We have went ahead and rescheduled that event for Friday, April 14th, and that'll be held at Recreation Park. And then the last thing I do want to, second to last thing I do want to point on, Saturday, April 8th is our big Easter festival event that'll be held at Recreation Park. We recommend people get there early. The hunt will begin right at 10 a.m. And then the last thing I want to touch on is we've got this gentleman here behind me. We actually stole him from Steve's crew in a bidding war, but this gentleman behind me, his name is Nick Cook. He is our new athletic coordinator. He is from the fantastic University of Pittsburgh State University. Like to brag a little bit there. I wasn't going to have him come out or come up and speak or anything, but if you want to corner him once we're done here, I'm sure he'd be happy to introduce himself to you personally. With that concludes my report, and I'd be happy to answer any questions that you guys have.
Any questions? I'm just wondering where Nick went to college. You gave junior college, but where did he go to college? Welcome
No
aboard,
comment.
Nick.
It was in Oklahoma.
Thank you. Director?
Thanks, sir. I will ask Mr. Rulo for a superintendent report for the park side.
Thank you. I also submitted a written report. Just want to hit on a few key things. I do want to thank Dallin Seeley for doing this Eagle Scout project. The timing's perfect. This thing needed to go in. We're losing Nick. Thievery going around here is like crazy. So I am one person short. So it's good to have a little extra help with the community coming in and saving the day. I also just wanted to let everyone know that our staff is finishing up on some of the smaller projects down at Hawk Ridge Park, Hawk's Nest, doing some smaller projects there, planting plants. We'll be putting up some fences, and when that's all said and done. The staff is working on pouring a pad for the Arts Commission. There's going to be a new piece of art go in on the south end of Eagle Glen Trail. The pad will go in tomorrow. Not sure when the piece is coming up. I think she said at the end of April. So looking forward to see what that's going to look like. Last thing, just want to let everybody know that sometime next week, probably midweek, all the restrooms will be opened up for the season. And hopefully the cold weather stays away. With that, I'll take any questions.
Thank you, sir. Any questions? No, I'm sorry you had somebody taken from you. That's really mean. Thank you, sir. Director.
All right, thank you. I do want to, not only for Nick back here behind us, who well-deserved promotion into a new position that he went to school to do. So that's what he said he wanted to be and wanted to do from the get-go before he was hired on with the maintenance department, and he's worked very hard to get there and has done a good job. In addition to that, I want to congratulate Cody York. He's one of our Maintenance One workers. He has completed all the requirements and done all the necessary training and has been promoted to a Worker 2 position. So really proud of Cody. He's doing a great job for us, and he's been an excellent hire. A couple of anniversaries this year, or this particular month. Obviously, in my report, Steve is celebrating 15 years with the city. I celebrated 8 years as the director with the city and 20 total years in Raymore. And Boyd has served, Boyd and Jeff, but Boyd's anniversary was, they're both in Worth, right? Boyd and Jeff are both in 25 years service, so we've got a lot of experience there and not doing a whole lot, so that's really important. Couple other things. Let's see, the stormwater team, the annual stream cleanup event that is actually hosted by our stormwater engineer and Lori Crandall. She hosts this event every year at our Linear Park Good Parkway. That's this Saturday, weather permitting. She and a group of volunteers go out and collect trash and clean up the stream. So that's a good event. We're very thankful for them doing that. And that's really all I have for tonight. That's outside of what these guys have said. And happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, sir. Any questions for the director? None. Thank you. We have no unfinished business, so we are going to move straight into new business. Action item A, budget amendment, Fund 27. Director?
Thank you, sir. This item is in relation to the Hawks Nest All-Inclusive Playground. We are coming very close to the end of that. I did not mention it in my staff report because I knew this would be a topic of discussion for our first agenda item. So we have the playground, which at the immediate conclusion of our meeting, we'll move over to the playground. I'll give you guys a quick tour of the progress that's going on out there. This budget amendment is basically an internal budget amendment for us to be able to fund specific landscaping projects that we want to do for the enhancement of the playground. When you do a project like that, the contractor is really just in charge of the playground. The rest of the area around it are things that you either hire another contractor to do, you hire those guys if they're capable of doing it, or you take it in-house. We know that we can do this, and we have a vision for what we want it to look like. So we are, instead of taking this expense out of Steve's operating budget or our maintenance budget, we want to do a budget amendment where we're transferring money from our fee and lieu for these specific types of projects. What you'll see is fencing and rule signs, fountain grasses, boulders. It's really a lot of landscaping. It's just funding those necessary resources that we need. Like I said, this totals at $23,000. What we're coming here, those are estimates based on what we think that we're going to need. We're asking for the board's permission to do this, and then the actual budget amendment will be at the conclusion of the project for the exact amount that we spend. So we're hoping that we don't spend all of this, so we were pretty conservative in that, so that we don't have to come back to you again. When it is a budget amendment to pay for it, it will go straight to the city council for the transfer of that fund, so we won't have to come back here for that. We have plenty of funding in the fee and lieu account, and we continue to get annual payments through subdivisions and developments that come in, so this should not affect that account that we're trying to build up to help offset costs for the dog park that's coming up later. That does conclude my staff report, and happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Any questions for the director?
Yes.
Bill?
You said that this is a projected cost that you're expecting. Hopefully it won't exceed for $23,000.
That's correct.
All right. I'll have to remember to buy some grass.
Any other questions? Okay, seeing none, I'll ask for a motion.
Mr. Chairman,
Bill?
I move that we accept the budget amendment for project completion to the tune of $23,000 as recommended by staff.
I'll second that.
Okay, hearing a first and second, any discussion? Seeing none, I'll go ahead and ask for a vote. All those in favor? Passes 5-0, 2 absent. Okay, action item B, resolution PK 2301. Director?
Thank you, sir. This is a resolution of the park board that is basically in opposition to the proposed landfill and its proximity to the parks. We had one of our board members make a recommendation that this would be something that we could show support and in opposition to something that I know most people in our community are very much against. And so we wanted to take formal action of that and make it known on record that we as a park board do not want that landfill anywhere near our park system. And so this resolution identifies and outlines the reasons why we feel that way. And I would be happy to read this resolution one time in its entirety, then we'll vote on that, and then if approved at the conclusion of the meeting, Chairman Troutman and I will sign that and we'll give it to the city clerk. So if you don't mind, I will read this. I would like to say also want to thank Ms. Harmer. She helped me put this together. It's taken from the resolution that the council has done, and also resolutions that we approve every year for the National Recreation and Parks Association's month of the year, outlining the importance of parks and recreation. So that is where some of the language has come from. So resolution PK 23-01 is a resolution of the City of Raymore Parks and Recreation Board expressing opposition to any proposed future solid waste or demolition material landfill or any solid waste or demolition material transfer station being located on the city's shared northern border with the City of Kansas City, Missouri. And whereas the City of Raymore has exposed an orchestrated effort to covertly begin the development of a harmful landfill without consideration of the well-being of children, homeowners, and businesses in its immediate proximity on land adjacent to the current northern border of Raymore, Missouri, bounded by 155th Street, 150 Highway, Horridge Road, and Peterson Road, within city limits of Kansas City and Missouri. And whereas the location of the landfill at the proposed site is within close proximity to Raymore Parks and Recreation areas and would have long-term or permanent serious destructive and damaging impacts on those spaces and the people who use them. And whereas Parks and Recreation promotes health and wellness, improving the physical and mental health of people who live near parks. And whereas Parks and Recreation promotes time spent in nature, which positively impacts mental health and increasing cognitive performance and well-being, and alleviating illnesses such as depression, attention deficit disorders, and Alzheimer's. And whereas Parks and Recreation encourages physical activities by providing space for sports, hiking trails, and many other activities designed to promote active lifestyles. And whereas Parks and Recreation is fundamental to the environmental well-being of our community, and whereas Parks and Recreation, or Parks and Natural Recreation areas ensure the ecological beauty of our community and provide a place for children and adults to connect with nature and recreate outdoors. And whereas the Parks and Recreation Board exists for the purpose of overseeing the improvement, care, and control of the city's parks and recreation facilities, and whereas Raymore Parks and Recreation Board strongly opposes the consideration of a landfill or transfer station in this location. Now therefore be it resolved by the Parks and Recreation Board of the City of Raymore, Missouri as follows. Section 1. This resolution established that the board has publicly opposed and condemns the threat of a landfill near our city parks and recreation areas. Section 2. The Parks and Recreation Board fully supports the Raymore City Council and city staff in opposition to the proposed future solid waste or demolition material landfill or transfer station. Duly read and passed this 28th day of March, 2023 by the following vote. And with that, I will make a roll call and we'll take care of this. Member Scott and Member Collier are absent but have shown support, verbal support of this resolution. For those members who are here with quorum, Member Manson.
Yes.
Member Troutman.
Yes.
Member Clark.
Yes.
Member Cooper.
Yes.
And Member Mapes.
Yes.
And our resolution is approved in a 5-0 with 2 absent vote.
Thank you, sir.
That concludes this action item, sir.
Excellent work. Seeing no public comment, Nick, do you have anything you want to say? You sure? This is your time to shine. Okay, we'll go to board member comment. I'll start with you, Dan.
I don't have anything today. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Ken?
I'd just like to comment on the statements of the tenure, and these days that's kind of rare to have people with the tenures that were mentioned. I think it just says a lot to the integrity of the Parks Department, and it's pretty good to be involved with them. Good to see. And Nick, see what you got to face, man. Long way to go.
Bill?
Thank you. I want to welcome Nick aboard. He's in a prime position working under with astute leadership of Superintendent Brendan, who's always giving concise, intelligent reports, even though he didn't go to Oklahoma, like some people. And again, the board is appreciative of everything the staff does. And we're always supportive of the city in any effort that's going to benefit the citizens of this city.
Thank you, sir. Patrick?
I wanted to reiterate about congratulating you on the 15 years service, being recognized for that, and for the director as well for 20 years. The longevity is what we need, and that promotes some cohesiveness as the board changes. We do rely on staff. We have an easy job because of the staff that our Parks and Recreation Department has. So Todd, thank you very much, and congratulations for your movement around. Sounds like you're working now in a department that will be much more in line with your degree as well. They're going to miss your blood, sweat, and tears over there, but we'll get that handled, and Steve's capable. They'll get that position filled. But thank you for staying within Raymore in the Parks and Rec, and we welcome you. And again, Director, for developing the resolution with the others involved too, and making a very concise but firm statement on that. Thank you.
And I'll finish with a couple things first. Congratulations, Nick. Steve, I don't know if you'll make it to 16 years since you're going to have to pick up his slack. Todd keeps taking your good employees. Shame on him. Also, congratulations to Cody moving up to maintenance too. Obviously, you always have a decision whether you want to shine or not, and we appreciate that. Congratulations, Todd. I know we've talked in the last meeting, but I'm glad you've moved up. And I want to thank Patrick for being our point person with the landfill. He's kind of stayed in touch with everything that's going on, and so appreciate your work in that and getting us moving forward with this. Board members, I appreciate you as always, staff, city council, the mayor, and obviously the citizens. I thank all of you. Next, we'll move into adjournment. I'll ask for a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move we adjourn this meeting of March, what the devil is the date? Pardon me? Thank you. March 28th, 2023.
Okay, have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor? Meeting adjourned.
We will not be planting the trees. It's just really muddy out there. Any of the board members that would like to go to Hawk Ridge Park, we are happy to go down there. We can give you a tour of what's being built, where we're at so far. Shouldn't take too long. But it's completely up to the board. We do have a posted agenda for that, so we're able to do that if you guys want to.